What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers Live on our Weekday Wagers channel. If you're not watching live, you're already behind, but I am Daniel Greer, and Rob is with me here on a Tuesday. I'm not normally here on a Tuesday, but Mark is out. He is traveling today, I do believe, but he'll be back with us tomorrow, I think. At least he better be. But yesterday on the show, looking through what we had, I hit mine. Mark did not hit his. Lamar, yeah, they went down. They actually lost the game, so didn't he win by 3 points? They lost outright. And then Texas A&M Corpus Christi, another win for the good guys. But today on the show, we're talking about the aftermath of the U.S. hockey because Rob didn't get to give his insight on it. So we'll talk with Rob about that and his initial thoughts. We'll give you our plays and maybe break down some do's and don'ts for the NBA betting as well as hockey because hockey is returning tomorrow. But let's go ahead and bring in the man himself, and he is Robbie Hockey. What up, man?
What's up, DG? Yeah, I was listening to you guys yesterday. I had a little bit of work going on, but I tried to catch it to the later portion of the show. But I thought y'all did really well on the hockey analysis.
Hey, listen, I've been watched enough of it to be able to tell enough of it. Okay, I wasn't able to do a lot. But let's go through it real quick because, I know you didn't give your initial thoughts on the show, and I know people want to hear from Robbie Hockey, but I want to ask about the first thing is Johnny Hockey. What did that mean to you? Because that's the reason you have Robbie Hockey, right? So what did that mean to you? I know it meant a lot to his family and a lot of his fans, but what did it mean to you personally?
Yeah, man, I don't ever tear up for anything. It takes a lot to actually make me crack. And that was one, I think, just the emotion of them winning, because I know traditional or non-traditional hockey fans see that and it's like, oh, America, F yeah, they're really about it. But when you watch hockey and you've been watching it since like the late 90s and you finally see your team eclipse and go over the mountain. I wasn't born in 1980. I didn't get to see that win. So for me, it was huge. It was a huge win. I thought it was really WWE-esque storyline. Jack Hughes gets punched in the mouth, gets his teeth knocked out, and he's the guy that comes through and scores the goal. I loved every bit of it. And then the ending was just perfect, bringing his kids out there to celebrate with him. I don't think you could have done it any better.
Yeah, I've been seeing the memes of Johnny Hockey with the angels in the outfield type thing where it has him, knocking out the puck, or whatever, messing up because that's why Hellebuck played so well. I thought that those have been awesome. Just having the remembrance of him because we're talking like that was 2024, correct?
Correct. Yeah, August of 2024.
And I believe, and I think I saw a stat somewhere where he's the points leader or maybe goals leader in international hockey for USA. I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know if that's true.
I believe so. I'm not gonna when it comes to the stats and stuff. I'm not 100% sure. I do know he would have been there on that team, and he would have been in the Four Nations last year too, had he still been alive.
That's crazy. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the golden goal itself. Like it was a big play by Jack Hughes, and now the iconic photo of him biting the gold medal with, the tooth gone, half of it gone, just being crazy. That just screams hockey. What do you make of the golden goal? Because it was honestly, it was one that I think a lot of hockey fans won't be able to forget for sure.
It's one that I've watched well over 100 times on repeat, whether it be a meme, whether it be on YouTube trying to get motivated, like go work out or something. I've watched it over and over. It was just great. I mean, you stopped McDavid on the far end. You get the puck down the ice. Werenski makes one hell of a play, gets puck possession, and Jack Hughes snipes it. I mean, it was just I wish there had been cameras watching me watch that game on Sunday because the family were all at church. Finn showed up a little bit towards the end of the game, so he and I got to celebrate together, but everybody else was still at church. But, yeah, I was a wreck. I was a wreck the whole game. Like I said, I hadn't watched that jersey all Olympics. I'm sitting there stinking, just couldn't even move. Like, I'm superstitious. I'm like, well, if I sit this way, they're doing good. Man, if I sit like this, Cale Makar scored a goal. Maybe I need to adjust my seating arrangement. So it was very, very big emotions for me during that game.
That's cool. And that's a time, honestly, you won't forget, but obviously a lot of hockey fans. And I think that if you look back at this could be a change for, United States hockey moving forward. Like you could see, these young kids grow up and become hockey players and it kind of taking on a life of its own because, America's wanted soccer so bad for so long and they can't just get over the hump in a sense. And I know this is on that level too of being, the World Cup, right? So you're talking about Olympic hockey. this is the highest of the highs for your country. So I'm glad that this all happened in a sense. But let's talk about one negative thing. And this isn't about USA negative. It's about Canada, because I see a lot of people in Canada mad about the 3-on-3 and saying they were the better team. It is what it is. What do you say to that? Just from a true hockey fan, but also a US fan, a little biased there. But what do you say to when Canada's making those comments or those excuses?
Honestly, as a true hockey fan, I would have rather had 5-on-5, but
Okay.
I never heard any of those guys complain when they beat Czechia when it was 3-on-3. I never heard any of those guys complain when they beat us in the Four Nations, and I never went on a bitch fest on Twitter talking about it ain't fair, this and that. They had their three best players out there, McDavid, McCarr, and McKinnon, and they got beat. Your three best were against our three guys, and you got beat. McKinnon missed a wide open net that 99 out of 100 times he hits. He didn't hit it. Devin Towles should have had a goal. Connor Hellebuyck made a hell of a save. You may be on paper the better team, but so was the undefeated New England Patriots, and they got their ass beat by the New York Giants. So it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day.
I love that. All right. Make me run through a wall. And Nate Geese even says they didn't mind 4-on-4 back in 2010. So
yeah,
I know nothing.
When the narrative fits them, it fits them. But when it's on the other foot, they also almost went to overtime with Finland. They are a dominant team, but let's not act like they went through this tournament with unscathed. They went to overtime with Czechia. Almost went to overtime if Finland had got out of a prevent defense and actually played some offense. And then they went into overtime with us, and they finally got snake bit. Hell of a team. Love the team. I'll even say this. I love Nathan McKinnon looking at that stuffed animal like, what the hell? Like, he was the only one I saw that actually looked at it. And it's like, I mean, I know that thing's head got ripped off as soon as that award ceremony was over. But, I mean, it happens. Like, so it's even in baseball. Sometimes you face a pitcher, you're just not hitting that night. They faced a goalie that they just couldn't score on that game.
Yeah, and that's what happens is you get stopped by literally a guy that's just playing out of his mind great in Connor Hellebuyck. And so I'm glad that he's getting his flowers. I'm glad the Hughes family, the guys, but also their mom getting the flowers. But honestly, everybody within USA Hockey, deservingly so, are getting their flowers. But let's go ahead and get to our picks today, because I know that's what a lot of people are here for. And let's go ahead and go to them now. There's no reason to talk to Seabass here. Let's go straight to you. We're going to the college hoop.
Yeah, switching it up for me because I don't have any hockey tonight. So we're going to go Tennessee at Missouri and take the over 142.5. First thing I love is that the model at JTS likes the over in this game. Secondly, Missouri has covered this, and 9 of their last 10 games have gone over. Tennessee isn't such a defensive lock anymore, as they've let the over happen in 7 of their last 10. The combined scoring average by both of these teams is 161.2 points per game, so they're selling over there. And Missouri's last game featured 180 total points against Arkansas. So this is a game that I think is very mispriced at 142.5. I would think it should be more around 149.5, 150. We also have history on our side too, is in the last 4 meetings, this game has gone over the 142.5, narrowly going under in 2024 when they scored 139. But give me the over in Tennessee and Missouri.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the Hornets and the Bulls here. And this was the first quarter play that I liked the most. And if you look at the stats on the model side of it, it liked it the most. And so I'm going to go ahead and target the Hornets, who have been playing really well, but also the Bulls. The Bulls don't have the gaudy numbers, but in the first quarter, they're scoring at least 26 to 28 points, and they're also giving up around 29 to 31 points. So all of that factors into the Hornets play well in the first quarter. The Bulls honestly aren't terrible. They can't score enough, but both these teams give up top 10 in the first quarter in the league. And so I look at this 56.5, and I think this is a chance where they can get 60. So we're looking at a decent sized edge here at -110. So I'm going to go in the first quarter with the Hornets and the Bulls over 56.5 at -110. But let's go ahead and get to some stuff that we have here in the chat. This is a question to you from Joe. Are the Gators a true sleeper title contender?
I think so. Biased aside, they started off the season a little shaky, but that happens when you lose a lot of players to the NBA. But I think they finally found their groove right now. They're winning. They're not only winning, they're winning convincingly lately. So hope they can keep the momentum going into March. But yeah, I would agree with that take.
All right. Well, I'm curious how they play. I haven't seen one game of theirs this whole season. But do you know who's number one this year? I couldn't. My rankings wouldn't pull up. I don't know if you knew who they.
Yeah, when I was doing my college basketball research today, I saw who number one was. Yeah,
and I actually like Wake Forest to cover. It was 18.5. It's now 17.5. So if you're looking for another play, I think the plus 17.5 is a great look for Wake Forest. You're talking about a team that just beat Michigan, neutral site. Now they're having to go on the road, play Wake Forest, even though it's the same state, not too far away. But I do think that Duke will win, but let's just say 15, not 18. And so because of that, I like that. Boom Boom's here. Helen's son Calvo always here. Nate G, Miss Kim. I saw Joe here. There's probably somebody. Boogie's here. Even that's the one I want to get to. Boogie here talking about the Pistons got exposed yesterday offensively. It seems like they're missing another score. Well, they were missing Beef Stew, which isn't necessarily a score, but he does fit their rotation. I will say that I do like this Pistons team. I think they got caught by the Spurs. But what I saw, and I don't know if you saw any of this game at all, but I did see they were literally trying to beat up Wemby. My question, I know you know who Wemby is, and I know you watched enough of him. I'm curious. This might be actually the recipe for the playoffs for people going up against him through the West, because Wemby, in a sense, could get beaten up throughout every series, because if you take him out, the Spurs are done. So if you can beat up him, be a little aggressive, that could be a chance why I would not like them to go win the whole thing. And so I don't know if you think that's actually could be something we would want to watch for the playoffs.
No, I agree with that. And looking at his ankles, I don't know how every time he comes down on his feet, he doesn't turn an ankle, because, I mean, they're like this, he's just really, really thin. So like you just said, if you can terrorize him, get in his grill, kind of make life a little hard on him, maybe bad boy-esque Detroit Pistons of the late 90s or late 80s, early 90s, do some of that to him and get in his head. Yeah. I do watch enough to know that if he doesn't play well or he's not on his game, the Spurs aren't winning.
Yeah, and they have a decent team, but it all revolves around Wemby for sure. Going back to college basketball, Arkansas is Boom Boom's latest future pick. I like them a lot, like obviously, but there's no way that I think that they could get hot enough and make the run in the entire tournament. I like them to be maybe a Sweet 16 team, maybe Elite 8. I don't trust John Calipari as far as I can throw him. That's my issue.
I don't either.
Yeah, he sucks as a coach. Great recruit, sucks as a coach.
He should be doing great right now. I mean, but I guess what is the Saban theory, where since everybody can do it, he's not as good at it anymore?
Yeah, I just think he sucks at coaching. I think he's great, and he gets carried by his superstars that he can get in there. Like, he is super like car salesman, and that's no knock if you are a car salesman. I apologize, but he can speak the lingo and like literally have you eating out of his hands. And at that point, you're like, all right, what did I get myself into? But he's not a great coach. But we'll see. But I do see Sia here. He said just got here to hear you dunking on Tom Brady. Yeah, anytime you can dunk on Tom Brady, I'm down with it for sure.
Can't happen very often, so you got to do it when you can.
No doubt. All right, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but I do want to talk about the NBA, and now that it's coming back, and it's officially back, and it's hitting their stride again. And then we'll talk some about hockey, because they just are coming into what NBA has gotten out of. So the first night back, I do like overs for the NBA. That is exactly what happened. People are getting back. They're just wanting to kind of just get their legs going. And then it tightens up, which we saw a lot of tightening up before it'll kind of settle. And I think this is going to be the first night that the NBA truly like settles. And so tonight you should be able to get some good lines, better get some good accurate plays from player props or whatever it might be. So tonight is where I would look at and say, hey, everything should settle back. It's a full slate for the NBA. And not a 3-gamer. But the hockey is getting back tomorrow. What are some possibilities, what people should look for to avoid, or also just kind of look to take advantage of?
Over City. It's going to be overs. Even Boom Boom had texted me a nugget he found earlier. I think it was a 14-game slate the day after the Four Nations, or when they all got back, and almost every game went over. So very similar to the NBA. It's going to go over. I might not play as many American players, just watching how they've been partying it up in Miami, and since this has been over. But at the same time, they are going to be in playoff mode because things are about to start tightening up. And as you get into this playoff push for the NHL, you're going to see a lot of East versus West teams. The draw, they call it draw season right now. Taking the draw, so for each team just to go to overtime is a great play, especially if you've got an East versus West team, because they all want to get that 1 point at least to keep the momentum going. So they don't play as hard, or they don't really go as hard. So they get to overtime, get the draw. That's something that you should be looking at a lot more towards the end of the season, is betting the draw. That's usually around plus 300 or higher. I bet the draw for the Olympics for the gold medal game. It was like plus 310. So it's called draw season for a reason. They're going to start doing a lot of games, especially if it's East and West. Now, if you get same conference teams, maybe back off. But if you get the East and West teams, definitely look at betting the draw this time of year.
Really? I never thought about that. That's nuts. So at that point, you get your point. You're not losing, because for a win outright, just a win in what is it? Three-way win, money line, something like that, whatever y'all say. How many points do you get for that? Is it 3?
Get 2. So it's a regular. If you get a win in regulation, it's 2. If you win the game, even in overtime or a shootout, it's 2. But if you make it to overtime, you can lose and get 1 point.
Gotcha. Okay. I like it. Joe says he draw season for a reason is a t-shirt. All these ideas. I like it, Joe. I still need to figure out how to get the Mall Walker mark somehow, some way. But I do have a correction. Miss Kim is calling me out here. Duke does take on Notre Dame. I don't know why I thought of Wake Forest. I have no idea why I did. And
I knew that too, and didn't correct you. I thought, well, he's the college guy. Maybe it is Wake Forest, and I read it wrong. No. So that's on me as well.
Listen, been a busy day, we'll say the least.
Yes,
and so I was not thinking
correctly.
For you. Yeah. So yes, thank you for that, Miss Kim, who is working on her shorts as we speak, not the actual shorts she's wearing, but for YouTube shorts. And so she's trying to help us out, lend a hand, and see if we can make some magic and kind of put out more content. So shout out to her, and shout out to honestly keeping me honest, because I totally forgot it was Notre Dame and not Wake Forest. You know what? I was thinking of Chris Paul. He sucks. Maybe that was what was on my mind. I don't know.
She mentioned on X too. Did you get to see the AJ Styles send off last night?
No.
It was good. We were actually watching wrestling last night because there was nothing else on, and they did his tribute. Played Creed for his tribute song, so of course that got everybody
higher.
I think it was. I can't remember the song. But
Arms Wide Open.
I don't think it was that one. I think it was higher.
I'll find out.
But all his old buddies from TNA came out, and then at the end, the lights went out. Taker came out and told him he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame same night that he retired. So it was really neat. It was pretty cool. I think they did him right for a change.
Wow, I had no idea. I have to go check that out. I haven't seen any of that at all. I am literally so deep into trader stuff, which is fun, but it's only once a week. But we're on the latest season of Lincoln Lawyer, which was really good. I don't know if you watched Lincoln Lawyer. There's 4 seasons. We're now I literally just finished it maybe 10 minutes before getting into the green room here on the show. And then I am trying to finish Night Agent as well, binging that. And I've been in my bed with my wife at 8:30 while she goes to bed, and then I turn on the TV. I'm like, all right, I can watch some of my shows. So I know we do have Survivor coming up, though. Are you excited? That's tomorrow.
I am. I'm ready because it's going back to my normal routine. I coach throughout the week. I can look forward to, Wednesday, I coach my older kids, which is, it's a little more fun because they know a little bit more about what they're doing. And then after that's over, it's Survivor. It breaks the week up. And then, weather's hopefully going to start getting warmer. Today, of course, it's 30 again because Tennessee's bipolar when it comes to its weather. But yeah, I'm excited for some Survivor. I'm excited just to get back into spring. And that's usually the first sign of spring is when Survivor starts back.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and do it now because I want to make sure if you're watching this show, you put it in there. I know Scotty wants to do it. We're going to do a draft somehow, some way. We'll do it live on the show tomorrow. And if you want to be in, just say in, whether it's the letter or if it's want to be IN, whatever you want to do, just say in somehow in the chat. We'll make sure that we contact you somehow, some way. We'll try to do it live on the show or live in the chat of somehow, some way. We'll draw the numbers for everybody tomorrow. for the Survivor, just Fantasy Survivor. So we'll attach a number to somebody. We'll do random number draw, just like bingo, and then you'll kind of have it. So you'll have somebody cheer, because I think that would be interesting. Because if not, I'm going to cheer Colby. That's who I grew up on, was Colby.
Always.
So I have to.
Yeah, it's Boston
3 hours Survivor.
No,
I don't have that time. Oh, come on,
it's a long time, because I usually have to watch it after it airs. Like, I've got it recorded so I can watch afterwards.
Yeah, I'm literally coaching like 4 nights a week and doing lessons like 4 nights a week. They don't cross, they cross over, but not exactly. So yes, it's crazy. 3 hours is nuts though, but here's what it is. Whatever. All right. Well, I got to get out of here. But thank you all for hanging out with us here in the chat. But also, if you're watching on replay, we do appreciate it. Going through the slower time when there's not much going on, we might do these a little bit shorter. But we also want to make sure that we're giving you the content. Not sure about the top 5 or rank that tonight coming out. It might come out Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see. But either way, we'll get something out on the shorts. Those have been hitting. They've been bangers, as they say. Banger after banger.
Yeah, they've been interesting too. I like hearing your takes on some things. Your college basketball, and I found myself watching it, not even paying attention to who's giving their takes. I'm like, that's BS. Why does he have them in there? And then I'm just like, oh shit, it's DG. Never mind.
And really, and Duke is number 1. They went, so it made me look good. They beat Michigan, even though Houston fell. And then Kansas had that big win. So I feel like mine's okay. It's all right for right now. We'll see. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out with us again. Hopefully this part of your day, watching the show, hanging out with us, is one of the better parts of your day. But we'll see y'all tomorrow.